everybody, my name is Heather, and today I'll be teaching you a beginner Vinyasa class. Starting in a comfortable seat, you can sit cross-legged, easy pose like I am, or if you have a different comfortable seat in mind, you're welcome to take that as well. You could sit hero's pose or lotus pose, or on a pillow or a block, whatever your preference is. Once you do find a comfortable seat, bring your hands to your knees, palms face down. Close down the eyes. Feeling both sits bones pressing evenly into the earth. Sit tall through your spine. Let your shoulders fall away from the ears. Bring your ears in line with your shoulders. Shoulders over your hips. Nice and tall. Scanning the body for any tension, just noticing how it feels. If you do feel like there's some tension somewhere in your body, breathe deeply into that area. Bringing your attention to the quality of your breath. Is it shallow? Is it quick? Is it deep? Evening out the inhales and the exhales. On the exhale, you constrict the back of the throat, making an ocean sound. The inhale is quiet. With the exhale, you hear like the crashing of the waves on the beach. The ujjayi breath helps strengthen the diaphragm, and the diaphragm is responsible for the length and the speed of our breath. So it's good practice to use the ujjayi breath when you do yoga. It also helps us stay in the present. It also helps calm the nervous system and creates heat in the body. Eventually, the ujjayi breath becomes a regular part of your practice, something you don't even have to think about. Slowly start to open your eyes. Maybe a little smile crosses your face. Welcome to your mat today. Bring your hands to either side of your body, and on an inhale, reach your arms overhead. On the exhale, drop the right hand to the mat, walking the fingertips out to the right. and side bend over to the right. Notice if your ears are crawling up to your shoulders are crawling up to your ears. Try and relax them down your back. Use that hand that's on the ground to push away and create more space on that left side of your body. As you inhale, you find more length. As you exhale, you bend deeper. 3 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more. Inhale. Exhale. As you inhale, come all the way up. Reach overhead. Exhale, drop your left hand to the mat. Walk those fingertips out and side bend to the left. Reaching that right hand over to the left. Again, on an inhale, you find length. On an exhale, you bend deeper. Feel the right side of your body open up. Drop the shoulders away from the ears. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more inhale. Exhale. On an inhale, reach your arms overhead. We're going to twist to the right. So dropping the right hand behind you, hook your left hand on your right knee, looking over your right shoulder if it feels okay in your neck. Again, inhale to find length. Exhale to twist deeper. Feeling both sits bones pressing into the mat, firmly rooted, tall through your spine. Notice if you're collapsing in the back and try and keep your spine nice and long. 3 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more time. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, release the hands beside you. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, twist to the left. Right hand to left knee. Left hand reaches behind you. On an inhale, we find length. On an exhale, we twist deeper. Maintain integrity in the spine. Nice and long. Three more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last inhale. Exhale. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, release your hands. Taking a little forward fold here. We're going to inhale, reach up. Exhale, reach your hands forward, walking them out in front of you. Try and hinge at the hips here. This is a nice deep hip stretch pretty early in the practice, so it's okay if you don't go very far. Maintain integrity in the back by keeping a nice long spine and fold at the hips. Again, as you inhale, you find length. As you exhale, maybe fold a little deeper. Just a few breaths here, waking up the hips. Inhale, walk your hands up. Exhale. Finding tabletop position. Shoulders stacked right over the wrists. Hips stacked over the knees. Toes are untucked. Tops of the feet pressing into the mat. A nice strong spine here. So notice if you're dumping into the back and engage your core so you have a nice level back. I like to gaze right in between my pointer fingers on the mat so I keep a nice long neck, not compromising by looking up or crunching down. Moving through 5 cat-cows with the ujjayi breath here, so it's a chance to practice your ujjayi breath. We inhale for cow pose by looking up, dropping the belly, the tailbone points to the sky. On an exhale, press the earth away, rounding the spine, tucking the tailbone and the chin for cat pose. Inhale for cow, drop the belly. Exhale, cat pose, round the back, tuck the chin and the tailbone. Inhale for cow pose, look up. Exhale, press the mat away, cat pose. 2 more like this. Inhale for cow. Exhale for cat, tuck the tailbone, round the spine. 1 more time. Inhale, look up, drop the belly, tailbone to the sky. Exhale, cat pose, round the spine. Inhale to a neutral spine. Exhale, tuck your toes, press your hips up for downward facing dog. Downward facing dog, we want our hands the same position as in tabletop, so shoulder distance. Our feet are hip distance, and if your hamstrings feel very tight, you're welcome to pedal out your feet here, dropping one heel to the earth and then the other. Roll the shoulders down the back, so try and get your shoulders away from your ears, and your tailbone points to the sky. You can also rock your hips side to side, maybe a little side stretch there feels nice. The head is heavy. Shake your head no, shake your head yes, to relax the neck. Take a couple of breaths in downward facing dog, finding stillness. The gaze can be at the thighs or more traditionally at the belly button. Keeping a steady breath. On your next exhale, bend your knees, look between your hands, and slowly walk to the top of the mat. Big toes together, heels slightly apart. When you arrive, half lift by putting your hands on your shins and elongating your spine, looking down at the earth. On an exhale, release, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up to stand. Exhale, release your hands beside you. Tadasana, mountain pose. Again, your big toes are touching, your heels are slightly apart. Hands rest by your side, palms face forward. Close your eyes for a moment. Feel your hips stacked over your feet, your shoulders over your hips, your ears over your shoulders. Nice long spine. Just pause, feeling the breath as it goes in and out, feeling the energy you've created by warming up. Moving through 3 modified Surya Namaskar A's, which are sun salutation A's. We're going to move through it pretty slowly, explaining each movement and linking it to our breath. On an inhale, we reach up, look up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, hands to shins, elongate the spine, looking down. As you exhale, plant your palms, step back to plank pose, and hold for 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Your hands are right under your shoulders. Your feet are about hips distance apart. Your legs are engaged. Your core is engaged. Your shoulders are rolling down the back. Nice long neck, gazing down at the mat. 1 more inhale. As you exhale, lower all the way to the mat. Untuck your toes. Keeping your hands where they are, right under the shoulders. We're going to inhale to baby cobra. So roll the chest and the head up. A little back bend. Exhale, release. To come up, tuck your toes, and you can either inhale to tabletop or to plank. So it's your choice. I'm going to inhale up to plank. Exhale, push back, downward facing dog, 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more inhale. As you exhale, bend your knees, slowly walk to the top of the mat. Big toes together, heels slightly apart. Inhale, hands to shins, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up to stand, reach overhead. Exhale, release your hands beside you, Tadasana. 2 more times. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, look up halfway, hands to shins or the mat, lengthen your spine. Exhale, plant your palms, step back to plank pose and hold. 3 breaths. Strong through your core, palms pressing firmly into the mat. Legs are strong and engaged. Stay with your breath. Feel the strength of the pose. 1 more inhale. Exhale, release all the way to the mat. Untuck your toes. Baby cobra. Roll up on your inhale. Heart opener. Exhale, release. Tuck your toes. Inhale to tabletop or plank pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. That was our second Surya A. Good job, everyone. We have 1 more. 5 breaths in downward facing dog. Tailbone to the sky. You're welcome to have a deep bend in your knees if your hamstrings are tight. Ears should be in line with your biceps. Core is engaged. Maintain a steady breath. 1 more inhale. Exhale, bend your knees, look between your hands, walk to the top of the mat. Big toes together, heels slightly apart. Inhale, look up halfway, lengthen your spine. Exhale and fold. Inhale, come all the way up to stand, reach overhead. Exhale, release your hands beside you, Tadasana, mountain pose. 1 more Surya A. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, look up halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to plank pose and hold. 3 breaths in plank. We're getting stronger. Use that victorious breath. One more inhale. As you exhale, lower all the way to the earth. Untuck your toes. Inhale, roll up, baby cobra. Exhale, roll down. Tuck your toes. Inhale to plank or tabletop. Exhale, downward facing dog. 5 breaths. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. On this exhale, lower your knees to the mat. Separate them a little more than hips distance. Big toes together, press your hips to your heels for child's pose. Arms reach forward, forehead rests on the mat. Use this time in child's pose to catch your breath. Feel your heart working, your heart's beating. On your next inhale, come up to a tabletop. Setting up for a stable table here. Again, our hands are under our shoulders, our knees are under our hips distance. The tops of our feet are on the mat. Our core is engaged. We're looking between our two pointer fingers on the mat. Setting up for balancing table. Inhale, reach the left arm forward, bicep next to the ear. Also, lift the right leg straight behind you. Press the earth away with your left knee, the top of your left foot, and your right hand. Engage the core. Feel the core being engaged here. Try not to drop all the weight into your spine, your lower back. 5 breaths here. You can do it. Use that ujjayi breath to give you strength. One more inhale. Listen carefully. As you exhale, only lower your left hand. Inhale here. Exhale, bring your right foot between your hands for a nice low runner's lunge here. Kind of feeling into that left hip joint. Maybe you want to move around a little bit, find the sweet spot. And when you're ready, find stillness, find length in your spine. And you can either stay here with your hands on the mat, or if it feels good, reach your arms overhead for Anjaneyasana. 5 breaths. Make sure your right knee is not forward, too far forward of your right ankle. It should be stacked right over your right ankle. Also notice if you're dumping into your lower back in this pose. It's very easy to do. Try and tuck the tailbone under, square the hips, and reach up with your heart. If your arms are lifted, maybe gaze up, finding a little bit of a back bend. On your next exhale, release your hands down, planting your left hand on the inside of your right foot, setting up for a twist. Inhale the right arm up. If it feels good in your neck, you can look up to the right hand. Otherwise, keep your head neutral. Roll the shoulders down the back. Externally rotate that bottom shoulder. 2 more breaths. On your next exhale, release that right hand. Take an inhale to find length. Exhale, shift your hips back over your left knee, lifting the right toes to point up to the sky. And as you exhale, fold along the midline of the body. This is called half splits pose or Ardha Hanumanasana. It's okay if your leg isn't straight, even if it's a little bit bent, you're still getting the benefits of stretching the back of that right leg. Try and keep your hips square, so your right hip should be moving back, your left hip should be moving forward. And as you make that little micro adjustment, you'll feel more of a stretch on that right side. 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale, fold deeper. Inhale. Exhale. As you inhale, walk forward, bend that right knee. Exhale, tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. We're coming to stand at the top of the mat. So inhale, left foot meets the right. Ardha Uttanasana, lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up to stand. Reach your arms overhead. Exhale, release your hands beside you. I'm going to face you for this pose. We're going to do a little balancing pose here. Tree pose, one of my favorites. Bring your hands to your hips. You're going to start with the right side, the right leg. So plant that left foot firmly into the ground. Feel the entire foot planted firmly, all four corners of the foot. Now maybe lift your toes and then put each toe back down into the mat so you feel really grounded. Bend that right knee and lift the right heel, and then turn the right knee out to the right. You can just set your right heel to the inside of that left shin, and you could stay right here. This is tree pose. Bring your hands to your heart. If you'd like, you can bring the foot to the inside of the left calf, or using the help of my right hand here, you can place it on the inside of the left thigh, bringing your hands to your heart. Find a spot on the ground, maybe 8 or 10 feet in front of you, that is not moving, and fix your gaze on that point to help with your balance. Finding a focus point or your gaze is called your drishti in yoga. It's very helpful in balancing poses. It keeps your mind focused, keeps the body calm. If you'd like, you can reach your arms overhead, growing your branches to the sky. Press that left foot into the earth firmly. And as you press your right foot into your left leg should be pressing back. It should be an equal amount of pressure. One more breath here. Bring your hands to your heart. Release that leg down to the mat. Release your hands, maybe shake it out. Good job, everybody. We're going to meet at the top of the mat, big toes together, heels slightly apart. Tadasana mountain pose. Moving through Vinyasa, and then we're going to do the other side. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, step back to plank and hold. Just one inhale here. Exhale, lower to the earth, untuck the toes. Inhale, roll up, baby cobra. Exhale, lower down. Tuck the toes, press up, forward plank. Exhale, release the knees down if they're not already. Move into child's pose. Child's pose, the knees are a little bit wider than the hips. The big toes are touching. Reaching forward with the arms, the forehead rests on the mat. Child's pose is a great resting pose. If in any class you ever feel out of breath, like your breath has gotten away from you, you can always take child's pose to come back to your breath, to calm the nervous system. On your next inhale, come up to a table. Again, finding that firm foundation. So, hands under the shoulders, pressing firmly into the mat. Knees under the hips, hips distance. Tops of the feet also pressing into the mat. We're engaging the core here. Shoulders are down the back. We're gazing down. Balancing table on the other side. Lifting the right arm to reach forward. Palm faces in, bicep by the ear. Now lift the left leg straight back, as straight as you can manage. Engaging the core here, holding, but not holding the breath. Continue to breathe. 5 breaths. One more breath. Again, listen carefully. We're only dropping that right hand on an exhale. Take an inhale with your left leg lifted. Exhale, step it between the hands. We're in a low runner's lunge here. Set our body up for success. So make sure the knee isn't too far forward of the ankle. We want the knee right over the ankle. Our hips are square, so the left hip is moving back, the right hip is moving forward, pressing through the left foot and the right shin and the top of the right foot. Nice long spine here. You're welcome to stay here. If this is enough in your hip, you can stay here and feel the stretch. If you'd like a little bit more, press through your left foot and your right shin. Come up for full Anjaneyasana. We're engaged in the core. We're lengthening through the spine. We're leading with our heart. So feel the buoyancy in your heart when you take it out of your lower back and you engage your core. Your heart reaches for the sky. And that's exactly what this is, a little bit of a back bend. If your arms are lifted, you can look up between your hands. 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, release the hands. Release your right hand to the inside of the left foot, coming into the twist. Reach up with your left arm. You can either gaze up at that left palm, or if you have issues in your neck, you're welcome to have a neutral gaze forward, or you can even look down. Externally rotate that bottom shoulder and maintain integrity in your core. 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more breath. Inhale. As you exhale, release the left hand to the mat. Take an inhale here to find length through your spine. As you exhale, hips move back, toes lift to the sky for Ardha Hanumanasana, or half splits pose. Again, we're keeping our hips square here, so maybe let your right hip go back, see how that feels, and then bring it forward, kind of zip it up. And you'll feel that stretch across the back of the left leg when you square off the hips. Again, we're leading with our heart in this pose. So if you're rounding here, curling through the back, try and find some length. Even if it means you're not coming down as far, you're maintaining integrity in the spine. You find length as you inhale. You fold further as you exhale, if it feels good in your body. And we're folding down the midline, so the inside of that left leg. Just a few more breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. On your next inhale, come up, bend that front knee, plant the left foot. Exhale, tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, coming to the top of the mat again. So step up as you arrive. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold Uttanasana. Inhale, come all the way up to stand, reach overhead. Exhale, release your hands beside you. Tree pose on the other side. Coming into Tadasana to set up, big toes together, heels slightly apart. Then bring your hands to your hips. Plant that right foot firmly. Excuse me. Plant that right foot firmly. Feel all 4 corners of your foot planted into the mat. Now lift your right toes and plant each one down separately. Give a nice firm foundation. Bending the left knee, lift the left heel. Externally rotate that left hip, pointing the knee out to the left. Again, you can stay here with your toes lightly touching the mat and your left heel resting on the inside of your right ankle. If you'd like, you can bring it up to the calf, or for the full expression, press the left foot into the inside of the right thigh. Bring your hands to your heart. Find that point on the ground that isn't moving. Find your drishti. And remember to breathe. Press your right foot into the earth. And as you press your left foot into your right thigh, press your right thigh into your left foot. Equal amount of pressure. Notice if your shoulders need to relax down your back. Relax your shoulders. Maybe a light smile across your face. You're welcome to extend your arms overhead. Grow your branches. Two more breaths. Bring your hands back to your heart. Release your left foot. Point the knee forward. Drop it down. Release your hands. Shake it out. Good job, everybody. Meeting at the top of the mat. Big toes together. Heels slightly apart. Reach overhead. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Lengthen your spine. Exhale, plant your palms. Step back to plank pose. Take an inhale. Exhale, lower all the way to your belly. Untuck your toes. Curl up for baby cobra. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, curl the toes. Press up to tabletop. Exhale again to child's pose. Just one breath here. Inhale. Exhale. On your next inhale, come up to stand on your knees. Setting up for camel's pose or ustrasana. This is one of my favorite poses. It's very energizing. Need to make sure we're set up correctly. So your knees should be directly under your hips. So it should be about a fist. Your fist should be able to fit between your knees. Your feet are also hips width apart, and the tops of your feet for this version are going to be on the mat, pressing into the mat. We bring the palms or the heels of our hands to either side of the very bottom of our spine. Fingers point down, shoulders roll down the back. Feel your heart open as you roll your shoulders back and you look up slightly. As you lean back into camel's pose, you engage the glutes a little bit to support the lower back. The back bend should be in the upper back. So notice if you're dumping like this, you want to lift through the heart and then lean back. It's okay if you don't come very far, but press your hands into your lower back, engaging the glutes, opening the heart. Hold. On the next inhale, come up. Exhale, sit back on your heels, hero's pose. Rest your hands on your knees, palms face down, and close your eyes. Like I said, back bends are very energizing, so I always feel a lot of energy that I've created after doing camel's pose. Just notice how you feel, the space you've created across your heart. We're going to come into camel's pose one more time, so come back up onto your knees. Set up your foundation, your knees under your hips. Your feet are also hip distance apart, the tops of the feet pressing into the earth. Bring the heels of your hands, fingers pointing down to your lower back. either side of your sacrum. The shoulders roll back. Also, the elbows squeeze in. Engaging the quads and the glutes here. As you start to lean back, the back bend should come from your heart. Go back as far as you feel safe and just rest in that space, breathing, opening your heart. Inhale, come up. Exhale, sit back on your heels. Hands rest on your knees. Hero's pose. Close down the eyes. Maybe you can feel your heart beating. You can feel the energy you've just created. Breathe deeply into your heart space. When you're ready, open the eyes. Sit off to one side and bring your legs around. We're coming into a wide-legged forward fold. So I like to kind of move the flesh out of the way. Separate your legs as wide as feels comfortable for you. And it doesn't really matter how wide your legs are. What matters is that you have integrity in the pose. And by that I mean your legs are engaged, your toes are pointing to the sky, you can feel your sit bones pressing into the earth. For most people, this is enough of a stretch. They can really feel it in their lower back, they can feel it in their hips, and that's just fine. Maybe you just sit here with a nice straight spine. If you're flexible in the hips, you're welcome to walk your fingertips forward and fold at the hips, leading again with your heart. So if you can come all the way down, you should be able to touch first your belly, then your chest, then your forehead to the earth. Come to your edge and breathe into it. Here. Your next inhale, slowly walk up if you are folded. Using your two-piece fingers, put them behind the knees, bend the knees, and bring them up and plant the feet about as wide as your mat. Bring your hands behind you, fingertips facing forward. We're going to windshield wiper the legs, kind of to release that fold that we just did. So just windshield wiper the legs, side to side. Allowing one hip to come off the ground when you go one way, the other hip to come off when you go the opposite way. Nice massage along the glutes. All right. Then we're going to come back to lie on our back. So however you'd like to do, I like to go down nice and slow using my core. You're welcome to just roll on down. We're going to plant our feet hips distance right in front of our sits bones. Hands are by our sides. Inhale, lift the right leg to the sky. Exhale, cross the right ankle over the left knee. This is reclined pigeon pose. It's a nice hip opener. This might be enough for you. If you feel this a lot in your hip, you can just stay right here. If you need a little bit more, you lift that left foot off the ground, bringing the left knee into your chest and interlace the fingers behind the left knee. Make sure you're flexing that right foot so that you're maintaining integrity in the knee. And as you bring that left knee into your chest, you're pressing your lower back into the mat. Should feel a nice stretch on the outside of that right hip. 2 more breaths. On your next exhale, release that left foot to the ground. Cross the right leg over the left, so like you're crossing your legs sitting in a chair. Pressing into your left foot, the foot that's grounded on the mat, lift your hips, scoot them over to the left, drop them to the mat, and then allow your knees to fall to the right. Oop, I'm sorry, I did that wrong. Press, you're actually going to move your hips to the right and allow your hips to fall to the left. Bring your arms to a T and look over that right arm. A nice spinal twist just to release. Breathe into it. On your next inhale, come back up to center, engage the core. Exhale, release. Setting up for the other side, so your feet are hips distance, right in front of your sit bones, hands are by your side. Lift the left leg up, cross the left ankle over the right knee. Again, this might be enough for you. You might really feel this in your left hip, and that's perfectly fine. You can even press it away a little bit to feel a little more. Otherwise, we're going to lift that right foot off the mat, bringing the right knee into the chest, interlacing the fingers behind the right knee. Flex that left foot to keep the left knee safe. And again, as you bring that right knee into your chest, you're pressing your lower back into the mat, getting a nice stretch across the left hip flexor. Exhale, release that right foot down, cross the legs over. This time, press into your right foot, lift your hips over to the left, drop them down, and allow your knees to fall to the right. Bring your arms out to a T and look over your left shoulder. Breathe deeply into the twist. On your next inhale, engage your core, come back to center. Exhale, release the legs. For our final pose, we're going to do happy baby. So bringing the feet up, bending the knees. If you can, hook the 2 big toes with your 2-piece fingers and draw those knees to either side of your torso. Or if you can grab the outer edge of the feet, you can do that as well, whichever you prefer. As you pull your feet down with your hands, you're pressing your feet into your hands, creating a long spine. You'll feel as you do that your lower back comes in contact with the mat. Maybe you want to rock side to side for a nice little sacral massage. Whatever feels good. Remember to breathe. Chest. Lift your head off the mat and squeeze your legs. Squeeze everything together really tight. Give yourself a hug. And then exhale. Release everything down. Hands rest beside you. Palms face up. Feet are a little wider than the mat. Rolling out to either side. Allow your breath to release to your normal breath. So no more effort. into your shavasana, your rest. Relax your forehead, relax your eyes, your jaw, relax your throat, shoulders, your chest, your belly, arms and fingers, the legs and the feet. Feel yourself melting into the mat. Enjoy your rest. I'll call you back in a few moments. Take a nice big inhale. Exhale, let it go out of the mouth. Again, take a nice big inhale. Exhale, sigh it out. One more time, nice big inhale. Exhale, sigh it out. Finding movement in your fingers and toes, maybe rolling out the wrists and the ankles. On your next inhale, reach overhead, bring your feet together, nice long full body stretch. Exhale, release the knees into your chest, give yourself a nice gentle hug. Rolling over to your right side, pause here. And when you're ready, come up to a comfortable seat. Eyes are closed. Bring your hands to your heart. Sealing in your practice. Bowing into yourself, into the teacher and all of us. In all things. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. Hope to practice again with you soon. Namaste.